It,
All right, what's up, everybody? Big win tonight for the boys. Leafs 2, Habs 1. Jack Campbell, star of the show in that third period. We're going to give our thoughts quickly, and then we're going to get some of you on here to join us. Quickly, boys, just a couple minutes each. We can kind of do roundtable this one, but just what thoughts on the game?
This was not as flawless as game 2. I'll say that much. There were a lot of things they could fix up, but Jack Campbell, the last 10 minutes, absolutely bailed out the Leafs. The first goal might have been, should have had it, but that last 10 minutes makes up for it. He completely bailed out the Leafs. My God, that last 10 minutes, my ass was clenched the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell to do. My heart was pounding. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting with this team. I mean, it was a close game, and obviously I had a heart attack like for the entirety of the game. So I wiped out a good 3 to 5 years off my lifespan. But this team can actually play this way. Do you know what I'm saying? And they know how to attack. The only problem I have, and I hate that I have to say it because he's such a legend, is when Thornton comes on, things just don't look good. It slows down. The other team just always has the puck. I love the guy.
He grabbed the puck in front of Price, put it down, slapped it, and missed the net.
He actually got the chance to tee up the way we haven't gotten to tee up in about a year and a half. Yeah. And he completely just that aside, there were moments where I was like, I wish, but I mean, hey, depth isn't not an issue, but depth is being tested right now with Foligno out now, Tavares out. Injuries happen in the playoffs, and good playoff teams overcome it. And the Leafs are, I'm not going to call them a good playoff team until we get that series win under their belt, but they're showing signs that they can be one of those types of teams.
Yeah. And they've been showing those signs throughout the year, right? We just wanted to see them bring it over to the playoffs. They've won tight games, they've played with the lead, they've done it all year long, but we were wondering, can these guys do this in the playoffs? And I think they did to a certain extent. I think the first 5 minutes of the last 10 minutes were pretty solid. Not a lot of whistles, killing time, letting them come in, and then just immediately getting it out of the zone. I would like them to play a little bit more of the style that they played at parts this season where they didn't let their foot off the gas. I felt like they were kind of turtled a little bit, relied on Jack a little bit too much in the last 10 minutes. Overall, though, I think this was a really good playoff game. It wasn't the best we've played, but it was the best game so far, if that makes sense. I think it was more of a playoff game than the first two have been. I feel like the first one really was just a strange game because of what happened to JT.
Yeah.
And the second ran their show, right? So this is much more of that close, tight, hard checking game that I think the playoffs are kind of indicative of. And so this was kind of one of those games. I'm hoping the Habs I can't wait for their excuses after the game on what happened that wasn't their fault. I hope this
is a classic Anderson. Hey, we were better. We were obviously the better team. Yeah, man. Just keep saying that all the way to fucking year.
I can't wait.
We were the better team. They just scored more goals than us. Otherwise, we would have won.
Yeah. So otherwise, I think we were, the better team. We turtled a little bit more than I would have liked to, especially in the last 5 minutes. Jack did bail us out, like Maz said. But you know what? That's what a goalie's supposed to do. That's what a goalie hasn't done for us in the playoffs for a long time.
And yeah, not in the playoffs, not since Belfort. Realistically.
Yeah, poor McDavid. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, but
the Jets just scored.
Oh, did they?
That's definitely a different conversation. Which my God, we do need to talk about that. Maybe after we've wrapped up with everybody else, can we just hop back on and just fucking talk about that for 4 to 1 minute? I don't know how else to fucking.
I'm totally in.
But for the game, I think Kerfoot has looked like one of the best Leafs the last 2 games.
Unreal.
And the one thing I want to say is 2 years ago when we made that trade, last year it looked like a complete wash. We got 1 year of Barry. Kerfoot looked lackluster, whatever. But this year, maybe Kerfoot isn't the better player. Kadri's still a better player than Kerfoot. But for the third time in 4 years, Kadri suspended in the playoffs again, and we just got 2 brilliant games out of Kerfoot.
And what did we say, Mug? We said this a couple of games ago. Kerfoot on that second line is a different beast, bro. Like
Exactly.
as much as like we want to harp on him in that third line role, like he's not great as a checking center, and in that third line role, he isn't that good. But on the second line, this dude is different. I don't know what it is, but he's been unreal the past couple games. So I'm really happy with his play. Why don't we quickly do our 3 stars of the game from our perspective? Just kind of give our perspective, and then we'll jump in with a couple guys.
Who's yours?
For me, I'm gonna go Jack, first star. William Nylander's got to be my number 2. He's been our most dynamic forward this whole series. I'm glad to see that Keith played him more today, though. Like Jihad made the point in our last video that Nylander wasn't getting enough ice time, and through one period, it was kind of trending in that direction. He was on pace.
Well, we spent 6 minutes on the kill, right? So that has a big effect on what his time would have been.
And even with that, though, he ended up playing quite a bit more. So I think that I was happy with Keith's deployment of him. So he's my second star. And then I will give a 3rd star to someone that I have given a lot of shit to, that I gave some shit.
You just took my whole list, didn't you?
Is Morgan Riley.
Yeah, I knew it.
All right, mine's a little different. 1 and 2 are the exact same, but I think Sandin takes 3 for me. What didn't he do this game? Like his transitions in the defensive zone, evading defenders. It was on the power play. The amount of chances he was giving Matthews, just taking defenders' eyes away and then just giving it to Matthews for a one-timer. I think Sandin looks like he's not getting scratched anytime soon. For the rest of the playoffs, he looks like a lock.
Yeah, I think Sandin has arrived. He's gonna have his growing pains, but I think Sandin's arrived, and I kind of agree with you guys. I mean, Jack Campbell's a lock in at 1, and then for me it was Nylander and Morgan Riley. I know Riley had that one mistake where he didn't close the gap fast enough, but realistically, he's been playing pretty well these playoffs. Like he's been shutting up a lot of people, so I can't take away from the guy.
Yeah,
awesome.
I want to jump into the reactions.